Ah, my lords and ladies, dear patrons, I am Lord Blood-Rah, and you have come home to the Cathode Zone, where each week we will explore the shadowy depths of old-time TV. We all know the great icons of horror, Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Chaney, Price, etc., but there are many well-known actors that just skirt the periphery of horror greatness. One of those actors is Basil Rathbone. He, of course, played Wolf von Frankenstein in 1939's Son of Frankenstein, but vintage film fans probably best remember him as the screen's Sherlock Holmes in a whole series of films from the late 30s into the 40s. His deep bass voice and sharp features lent themselves to roles involving mystery and horror, many times as the villain, as in Roger Corman's Tales of Terror, or the fantasy classic, The Magic Sword. Now tonight we see him as the poor, downtrodden servant of a sociopath who, well, let's just watch this tale that comes to us from the dim, distant year of 1951. From Lights Out comes the tale, Dead Man's Coat.
Lights out.
Let him go into a graveyard at the quarter hour before midnight and dig up from a grave a newly buried corpse. Then let him remove the coat from the corpse and put it on. And if he shall finish his dreadful work ere the hour of midnight striketh, then hath he gained the power to be invisible. But let him who doeth this...
Turn it off, Gregory.
Yes, for him...
Lot of silly nonsense. I said it was a lot of silly nonsense.
Yes, sir, I suppose it is, sir.
I suppose you believe it. You're a fool, Gregory.
Yes, sir.
It's impossible, you know that.
May I go now, sir?
No, you may not go. What are you hinting at?
I'm not hinting, sir, at anything.
You've heard of this superstition before, haven't you?
Not quite sure that it is a superstition, sir.
Get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Invisible. Put on a dead man's coat. That fool Gregory. Wouldn't be bad, though, if invisible. The things you could do to people. Wouldn't be bad, would it? Gregory!
Yes, sir?
Bring me another drink.
Yes, sir.
What I could do to people.
Your drink, sir. The evening paper just came, sir.
All right, get out.
Yes, sir. Mr. Ingram's funeral is in the paper tonight, sir. He was buried today, sir.
And why not? He was dead.
Yes, sir. I was sorry to hear that.
I wasn't. I hated him.
The man's dead, sir.
And good riddance. Now get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Archibald Ingram, age 44, who died recently at his country home in Northport, was buried this afternoon at 3 p.m. in Lakeside Cemetery.
Gregory.
Yes, sir?
Gregory, do you really think there's anything in
what, sir?
In what the fellow was saying on the television, you fool.
You mean about the dead man's grave, sir?
Yes.
Coat?
No, sir. I think it's absolute nonsense.
Give me a light, Gregory.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Gregory. We've got to be finished by midnight. Oh, let me in that grave. Here, give me that shovel. What time is it?
11 minutes before midnight, Mr. Francis.
Don't mention my name, you fool.
I'm sorry, sir. There's no one around.
And if you won't help, at least shut up.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't help it. I'm afraid.
Everybody here is dead, except you and me.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't do it, sir.
What time is it now?
9 minutes before midnight, sir.
Aha! I found it. Gregory,
Yes, sir.
hand me down that heavy screwdriver.
Yes, sir.
No. Give me that axe. There isn't enough time.
No, sir, you wouldn't do that,
The
sir.
axe.
Oh, no, Mr. Francis!
Will you shut up? Come on, Ingram. Let go of it. Gregory, take this axe.
Yes.
Gregory. There. I got it. Now we'll see, Ingram, old boy. Or rather, we won't see, will we, Ingram? Nobody'll see. Gregory! Want to put it on, Gregory? Where are you going? Thought you'd run away. Thought you'd run away, did you? Thought you'd run away and pass the word to the police. My boss is a grave robber, you were going to tell them. Oh, well, you just listen to me, my lad. You try anything like that, and you know what I'll do.
No, sir.
Do you think the police will take the word of an ex-convict against mine? Why, I've got enough on you to hang you, Gregory, and you know it. So if you try anything...
No, sir, I won't tell, sir, I won't tell.
You know you won't. Yeah. Because I don't turn you over to the police, I'll... Why, I'm going to be invisible, Gregory. You won't be able to see me. Nobody will be able to see me when I tell you a lie and throw it out with my bare hands. I'll be invisible, and I'll murder you or anybody else that I want to. Now, get to work. And fill in that grave where some grave robber tore it up. Well, what are you waiting for? Get down in that grave.
No, sir, I won't.
Don't.
Please don't make me get down in that grave, sir.
And hurry up.
Mr. Francis? Mr. Francis? Mr. Francis! Don't go away and leave me here. Mr. Francis! Where are you, Mr. Francis?
Keep quiet, you fool. Can't you see I'm wearing the dead man's coat, Gregory? Give it to me. No, over here. Still not used to it, eh, Gregory?
Can I get you anything else, sir?
Get your hat.
My hat, sir.
We're going out.
Did you say going out, sir?
We're going to call on my friend Hamilton.
Oh, no, sir.
Mr. Hamilton is going to die a most untimely death, Gregory. A most regrettable occurrence, Gregory. But my friend Hamilton made the serious error of treating me very badly. And I promised him that one day I'd get even with him.
But you wouldn't murder Mr. Hamilton, sir?
Oh, yes, I would, my lad. I'd have done it long ago if I thought I could get away with it. But now...
But he won't even let you in to see him, sir.
Oh, yes, he will, Gregory, because you, my dear boy, are going to take me there.
No, sir, I... No.
And you're going to telephone my dear friend, Mr. Hamilton, and tell him that you must see him at once. You're going to tell him that you're in constant fear of your life. Which you are, Gregory, aren't you? And you're going to make an appointment with him.
No, sir! I won't be a party to murder.
Ha ha! Fooled you, eh? Now, you'll do precisely as I tell you. And you know why you will, don't you? You'll be a party to murder or anything else I want you to. And if anything happens during our little session with friend Hamilton, if anybody interrupts us, why then, my dear fellow, you'll be found alone with a murdered man. Because I'm wearing the dead man's coat. So win, lose, or draw, you're it. Now, take this phone.
Yes, Gregory, take this phone that's spinning in my invisible hand for some reason. This is an interesting and macabre take on the invisible man trope. Francis, our invisible villain tonight, seems no less murderous than the original screen transparent fiend from the 1933 classic, The Invisible Man. Both seem driven to take their revenge on those they believed wronged them. It must be a side effect of invisibility. Vindictiveness. Well, let's see, or not see, depending on how it goes, how things work out as we go on to part 2 of Dead Man's Coat from Lights Out.
Therefore, gentlemen, we should very much like a response to our letter of the 18th, I believe it was, in which we informed you that we were about to send to you a shipment of the late...
Excuse me, Mr. Hodgson.
Go right ahead.
Yes? Hold on, please.
What is it, Miss Parmalee?
There's a gentleman outside to see you, a Mr. Gregory.
Oh, yes. Yes, Miss Parmalee. Ask him to come in.
Have him wait, please.
And you may go to lunch.
Yes, sir.
We do not wish to be disturbed.
Yes, sir. You may come in now, please, sir.
Ah, Gregory. Come in. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Well, I must say you are in a state. What's that scoundrel Francis been up to now?
He's going to... I mean, Mr. Francis...
Oh, there's a draft from the window. Not too much for you, is it?
No, sir.
Well, now, what's happened? Oh, I feel sorry for you, Gregory. I'm sure it's no secret to you how much he hates me, so... I suppose we're both in the same boat, aren't we? Gregory, what can I do to help you? You sounded most upset when you called on the phone. Don't tell me he's been threatening you.
Lock the door, Gregory.
What did you say, Gregory?
Lock the door.
No.
What's the matter with you, Gregory?
There's nothing the matter with Gregory Hamilton. Lock the door, I said, or I'll kill you too. There, that's better.
Help! Gregory!
I told you I'd get you. You sneered at me, and you mocked me, and you... Gregory can't help you, Hamilton. Don't you recognize my voice? It's Francis, the man who hates you, the man who swore he'd murder you, the man that you wouldn't see because you're afraid. No, sir! Stay where you are, Gregory, or... Remember, you're the one that's alone here with Hamilton. You're weakening, Hamilton. Can't get your breath, can you? Can't see me. I'm looking right in your face, Hamilton, enjoying every second of your death scene. And you can't see me because I'm wearing the dead man's coat, Hamilton. Gregory, come here, Gregory.
Yes, sir.
They're burying good old Hamilton this afternoon. Died of a heart attack, paper says. Oh, don't worry, Gregory. You weren't suspected in the slightest.
Aye, sir.
You conducted yourself very well indeed at the coroner's inquest. With me standing beside you, you were extremely convincing. Mr. Hamilton was an excellent health gentleman when I let myself out of his office. One of the most interesting things about this dead man's coat, you never know where I am, Gregory. Nobody knows where I am.
Can I get you a drink, sir?
No. You and I are going out. We're going to a funeral, Gregory. If I mistake not, the first of a good many funerals you and I will be attending. Now, let me see. We check off Hamilton. Then there's Mackenzie, Beveridge, Carteret. Get your hat, I said we're late. Dead man's coat. Very, very useful. Well, very touching. Come on, Gregory.
Where are you going, sir?
Why, I'm going to watch them lay away my good old friend Hamilton.
You said you wouldn't do that, sir.
Gregory. Why, of course I can do that. I want to be sure he doesn't get out.
Please, sir, let's get away from this place.
Wait for me. I'm going in to say goodbye to my dear old friend.
What's the matter, Ben?
I thought I bumped into somebody.
Nobody in there but him.
Well, it sure felt just like somebody standing in my way.
Well, if he is, he sure was invisible. Sir?
Huh?
Speaking to me?
Sounded like it came from inside.
No, it was me, sir.
Gregory, you said?
Yes, my name's Gregory. I was the last person to see poor Mr. Hamilton alive, sir.
I see. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. You lock the door?
Oh, sure. Just put a new lock on just before the funeral. Good, strong lock. Nobody will ever get in there.
Or out either.
Ben.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis, it's Gregory.
Get that door open, Gregory.
I can't, sir. It's locked.
I heard him, you fool. Are they out of sight yet?
Yes?
Well, hammer on the lock. You hear me? Try that door. There's nothing in here to get hold of. Go to the car and get some tools. Try them. Hurry up.
There's nothing in the car, sir.
Well, get something and try.
Very well, sir.
And hurry up. It's cold in here.
Yes, sir. I'm sure it is.
Let me take a last look at you, old friend. What did you bring? What did you bring?
File, sir.
A file? You can't break the lock with a file.
Well, I thought perhaps the bars, sir.
Well, get started. Get started, I tell you.
No, sir.
What? What did you say?
I said no, sir.
Gregory?
I'm not going to try and file through those bars, sir.
But you're fooling Gregory.
No, I'm not, sir.
But Gregory, you're not going to leave me in here.
No, sir.
Oh, I knew you were only fooling Gregory. Come on and...
No, sir.
Gregory!
Now, you listen to me, sir. I'm master here now, sir.
Gregory, listen.
I brought this file just to ease my own conscience.
No!
I don't suppose you know what that means, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gregory. Good old Gregory, I'm sorry.
It's a bit too late for that now, sir. You're a murderer, Mr. Francis. And you're already planning other murders.
I was joking, Gregory.
And you're a
please.
grave robber, too. And you've treated me very badly. You had me sent to prison. You knew I wasn't guilty.
Oh, I'll make it up to you, Gregory. Oh, Gregory, old friend. Think of how many years we've been together.
And you've mistreated me, sir. You've struck me. And you've threatened my life.
Oh, no. You can't leave me here, Gregory.
So I've made up my mind that you've got to be punished, sir. It's your own misdeeds, after all. You've nobody to blame but yourself.
Oh, Gregory, please. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you.
But you won't be making it up to Mr. Ingram, sir. Whose body you robbed. Nor Mr. Hamilton, who's lying inside with you there now, sir.
No, no.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Says in the Bible that you wouldn't have read the Bible much, would you, sir? It says, judge not that ye be not judged. Well, I'm not judging you, Mr. Francis. I'm going to give you a chance.
Oh, Gregory, I know you would. Good old Gregory.
For crying out, sir. There'll be nobody here. There's nobody around for miles. And if and when they do finally come, sir, and they open this door, you won't be dead.
No, no, no! No, no.
You're probably reaching out through the bars now, sir.
Give it to me. Give it to me, Gregory.
You might be able to reach it, sir. And then again, you might not, sir. But if you can reach it, and it doesn't break before you file through them bars, very well then, sir, I was wrong. I'm not judging you, Mr. Francis. You judged yourself when you put on that dead man's coat.
Quite a fitting end there for Francis. Locked in a tomb, no one around for miles, and even if someone came by, who's going to open a locked tomb on the word of a disembodied voice coming from inside it? Oh, and I mentioned that Basil Rathbone starred in Son of Frankenstein. It just so happens that the screenwriter for that film, Willis Cooper, also wrote the script for this episode of Lights Out. Classic horror is kind of a small world, isn't it? Well, I hope you'll join me again next week, dear patrons, as we tour the dark depths of what TV used to be. As always, I am Lord Blood-Rah saying, you're always at home in the Cathode Zone.